So the other day I did a video where I talked about how, and it was just a theory, but now my theory is becoming more solidified. It's no longer a theory. It's starting to seem like fact. I said that the only reason that they're spilling money into anything, because everybody was looking at like a net positive, that it was a good thing. And I'm sitting here thinking, no, they're spilling money into things to try and keep the value high for investors. They're going to sell off everything. Microsoft is done with gaming. Like it's over. It's completely over. Like I guarantee you they're going to back off. They're probably even going to sell Mojang, however you say it. They're probably going to sell off Minecraft and everything too. I'm pretty sure of it. I'm pretty sure they're done. I'm pretty sure they're fed up. I'm pretty sure that excuse me. I'm pretty sure that they're just going to let it go. I'm pretty sure they're just going to be like, that's it. We're done with gaming. That's not where our bread and butter is. We're not doing this anymore. It was, yeah, and honestly, I said this several times over. They had no business to begin with getting into this. There was never any point to this. Never, never any point. It should have never happened. Microsoft should have kept its nose out of gaming. They had no business being into it. I said this as a kid, and I'm saying it again. When I was a kid, I was still a kid. I mean, even in your 20s, you're still a freaking kid. All right, get over it. You're a big kid, but you're a kid. You're still young. All right, so in my 20s, when this thing came out, I said, God, it's been 20 years. When Microsoft first announced coming into it and they were releasing the Xbox, blah 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 blah, I said they had no business. I said they're not going to stay in it. They're gonna leave out of it. This is just something's messed up going on. This isn't something that they would usually do. They were a software company. That's where the soft in Microsoft comes from. They're soft where. And so and then of course later on I as a kid I found out, oh well, it's because they were threatened by Sony. They felt threatened by Sony. They felt threatened by Sony. Not Nintendo, Sony. Because of some gargan over the fucking center of the living room. It was bollocks. It was dumb. All right. So as a kid, I said they're not going to stay in it, and I was right. I just didn't know how long they would stay in it before they left. I didn't know. And I think I was also still very bitter that Sega left. When Sega left the fray, they left, they got out of gaming or game consoles. Sorry, not gaming, game consoles. That's the difference here. The difference here is that Microsoft doesn't seem to care about games anymore. They're like, this is not where our majority of our funding comes from, our money, blah 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 blah. A lot of it, and in fact, from what they've said, is gaming has been drawing money from Microsoft. So, and I hate to make this comment, but I think they need to just fire a ton of people. Just fire people, just left and right. Fire them. Hire in people meticulously hire in people, and only enough people who have talent to get your games out there and get them out there as quickly as possible. Those are the people you want. You don't want all these extras who probably just drag their feet on every damn thing and don't get it done. Fire all those people. Get them all out of there. All right, just start fresh. I know that's a horrible thing to say. How dare you want them to people to just lose their jobs? They're gonna fucking lose them anyways. If this whole company goes under, everyone loses their jobs. If Microsoft goes, or not Microsoft, but Xbox goes, all of it goes. So, yeah, I it it is the end. But let me get to the point of all this. This is something that popped up, and I was like, this pretty much confirms what I'm thinking about all of it going on right now. So, GameFile, Microsoft already planned to shut down or split with Ninja Theory when Senua was announced. Quote, the thinking was that the promise of a newly announced game would help draw investors' interest in the studio. And I guarantee you that's every studio they have. That's everything, even Xbox as a whole. Like they're acting like it's such a great thing, but really they're ready to sell it. They're ready to sell it. They're ready to let it go. It's done. It's over with. They don't want it anymore. They're like, this is not making us money. In fact, it's losing us money. Like, it's been drawing money from us all this time. And again, I would say that's because you have tons of people who drag their feet and don't do their damn job. But I would also suggest that it's because your games just cost too much. Everything costs too much. Your consoles cost too much and whatnot. My brother has been an Xbox gamer for a long time, and he's sitting there going, I guess I'm just PC guy now. I'm like, yeah, that's me now. I'm PC guy. I'm so sick of how these corporations handle things, and the cost of all these. See, here's the problem in the US. The cost of living is going up. People's paychecks are not going up. Everything else is going up but the paychecks. So we can't afford the new hardware. The hardware keeps going up and it's pricing us out, and it's becoming a luxury item. And I can't believe that I'm quoting Richard Masucci, Review Tech USA here, but it's becoming that. And I hate being doom and gloom and dire and everything. I still hold to it that eventually this whole shit's going to pass. The bubble's going to burst. People are going to be able to afford hardware again. It's not going to go the way he thinks it's going to go. They're going to try and have it go that way. And they're already trying to have it go that way, even before this hardware crisis. And we've had a hardware crisis like this before. We had chip shortages. I didn't hear anybody back when we had the other chip shortages sitting here going, "Oh, it's doom and gloom. They're gonna force us all. They're gonna force us all off the internet. They're gonna force us all onto the internet with these little cheap devices, and you're not gonna be able to own powerful hardware anymore. That's what they're gonna do. That's what they're gonna do." I didn't hear any of this shit in the other chip shortages, but the RAM crisis and the fucking AI data centers, all of a sudden, that's gonna happen. No, it's not. You can't twist people's arm and make them partake and pay into this crap. They're always going to want their own physical hardware. They're always going to want their own PC. They're not going to want to do that, all right? And plus, there's a lot of software already available. I know I'm going on a complete fucking tangent here, but there's already software available that has nothing to do with Photoshop or any of these other services that you have to be online to work with. All right, there's alternative softwares, and a lot of people are using alternative software, and it's important that they use alternative software. Get the fuck away from the corpo shit. All right, those are going to be an option. And when they start losing money and people don't really care about the cloud crap, it's going to go under. None of this is going to go the way that he thinks it's going to go. I disagree with that, but I do agree with the other things that are going on. I agree that this right now it's becoming a luxury item. I just don't think it's going to stay that way. I think things will improve. It has to improve. Nintendo has no, I'm telling you right now, it is not key to Nintendo's business, all right, to have it to where you play, everything in the cloud and whatnot. Nintendo has no interest in that. That is not how this is going to go. Gaming is going to stay on their platforms. They sell hardware. So as long as you have these companies and individuals and whatnot, that their key business has to do with physical hardware, eventually it's going to go down because they're not going to make money when the price goes too high. Trust me, it's going to happen. I can't believe there's people paying the outrageous fees right now, but that's because we're in a bit of a slump. A few things are going to happen and it's going to improve. All right. One, we're going to get rid of Trump eventually. Yes, I'm going a little political in this, but it all just kind of comes together. It all just kind of congeals, and it all kind of interlinks, and it has something to do with one another. All right. Things are not going to stay bad like this is what I'm trying to say. That's all I'm trying to say. And that his theories and his negativities. So I'm trying not to be that negative because that's not who I am. I don't look at the negative in everything. That's just not me. All right. I am an optimist. I am not a pessimist. All right. So, and I'm not saying, oh, don't watch him because he's a pessimist. I'm just saying he's a pessimist. I'm an optimist. I'm just comparing the differences here. I'm not trying to persuade people not to watch other people. That's childish. The point I'm trying to make here is that he said stuff like this. Gamers Nexus has said stuff like this. That's not how this is going to go. But right now, we're in this weird slump. A lot of stuff. Xbox is going to go. It's going to go. This is all signs of that. They're acting like everything's hunky-dory. It's not hunky-dory. It has been 8 years since the last Elder Scrolls. It's not hunky dory. I mean the last new Elder Scrolls. I don't mean the remaster, remake, whatever of Oblivion. I'm saying. All right, all right. Let's back up a bit here. I have been talking for like 10 minutes. This right here to me is evidence. All right, and we can go and read this whole thing. Yeah, can I read it? Are you gonna make me? Okay, you're not gonna make me. Like several weeks ago, while looking for an official source for some facts that I needed to cite, I found an official Xbox article with an awkward chart. The article was published on January 18th, 2022. Bylined to Phil Spencer, the CEO of Microsoft Gaming at the time. He's not CEO anymore, of course. The headline, welcoming the incredible teams and legendary franchises of Activision Blizzard to Microsoft Gaming. Scrolling down a bit was the chart, the organization chart, a stack of 13 headshots presenting Xbox Gaming leadership team. Why are there so many people? Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, that's 12, 13. Yeah, 13 people. What the fuck? Why are there so many people over all the Xbox stuff? That's a lot of people you're paying a lot of money to. You shouldn't have this. You should have half of this. Like, it should be like 6 people, 7 people over all of these gaming divisions and whatnot. And they should be getting paid a ton of money. And I know they were getting paid a ton of money. The reason that Xbox is failing, and I'm going to probably end it with this. The reason that Xbox is failing is because it's an American company and it does things the American business way, which is to say really shitty. And that's the reason that they're failing and that they're going to fail. If they were to succeed, it would mean they would have to look at how Nintendo does things, learn how I hate saying that, or at least learn how Nintendo did things. Nintendo seems like they're going the way of like Sony and Microsoft, because they made a pretty decently powered piece of hardware now, and they're making things expensive, and I don't know, it just seems to me like they're not the company they used to be. But look at the old playbook they had and learn from that. You shouldn't be paying tons of money to all these people. And this is just the leadership. This isn't like everyone that's underneath each one of these people. It's a ton of people. And if things aren't going well, that means tons of money is being siphoned off of Microsoft. That's why they want to spin it off. That's why they want to sell it. They want to get rid of it. Microsoft, I'm telling you, give it a year. Give it sometime next year. There's gonna be like, yeah, we're done. We're selling this all off. Xbox is no more. And this isn't me. I like competition. Competition is good. This isn't me saying that competition is bad. This isn't me saying that it's good that Microsoft is going, but this is what's happening. All right. This is what's happening. Now we're back to two. We're back to Sony and Nintendo. And I love that people are like, well, without competition, Sony's just going to do what they want to do. Is Nintendo chop liver? See, that's the thing. I don't give a shit what Nintendo says because they love to say shit. As long as they're making game consoles and video games, they are competition. Period. These two companies are making games and hardware. They're competition. Period. Period. Fucking period. All right? Stop acting like they're not competition. Again, don't love Nintendo. Don't want people to misconstrue that. All right? But this is where we're at. This is what's going to happen. Xbox division is gone. It's gone. I'm not even going to read all this. It's gone. It's practically gone. They're going to sell it off. They're going to spin things off. They're going to get rid of things. I get the feeling that who is it they just bought? Activision, Blizzard, all that stuff. They're going to get spun off. They're going to become independent companies like they were before they were bought by Microsoft. They're just going to go back to what they were. It was too much in too little time. It's kind of like a kingdom growing too big too fast and being so big that the leadership can't control all of it and things go to hell. It's the same thing right here. The kingdom of Xbox is suffering, struggling. All right, and it's because it got too big. Too big. You can't get that big. You have to stay at a moderate size. You get too big, you can't sustain yourself. You can't sustain your workforce. You can't keep going. That is what's happening here. Now they're going to get rid of all of it. It sucks, but it is what it is. Rate, comment, subscribe. This is all I got to say about this. This is messed up. It's just, that's it. It's the end of an era. And it's not even as bad as Sega, because Sega didn't get out of making games and whatnot. They just got out of the hardware business. Microsoft's getting out of all of it. They're making it's because it's like a last ditch effort to make people look at things positively. It's not going to go well. I'm out.